welcome back to another UFLOW Yoga video. Today we'll be focusing on a really great warm-up video for something in the morning. So if you want to do just a gentle yoga practice to get your blood flowing, kind of get your body moving before you start today, this practice is perfect for you. You don't need any props, so come to your mat and we'll get started. All right, for today's yoga practice, we're gonna start actually on our back. So I'm gonna come onto my back, laying down. You can join me at home. And before we start our practice, we're just gonna start with what I call is an arrival breath. So take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And then exhale, just let something go. If you've taken a practice with me before, you know I always like to cue these transitions. Just like in life, we don't need to rush through transitions. Sometimes it's okay to take it slow, right? Take a breath before we move into something new. So if you're practicing and this is your practice as you just wake up, just give yourself some space, right? To arrive before we jump into something new. We'll take another big breath in. Exhale, just let something go. Once you feel like your body and mind is kind of settled into this little resting pose, I want you to start by bringing your right knee into your chest. So I'm going to hug my right knee in. My hands are going to come around the shin. And this is where we're going to start today. So just have little gentle pulls on the hips, so kind of stretching that hip flexor towards yourself. So bring that knee towards your chest. Being mindful of our breathing. From here, we'll start with some gentle circles. So I'm going to use my hand to kind of do some circles of my knee, getting into my hip flexor, going in one direction, and then pausing and going in the other. I am very tight this morning. Oh my goodness. From here, we're going to find some stillness. I'm going to take my left hand, grab my right knee, bring my knee across my body. So this is kind of like a supine twist with our leg. So my right shoulder, I want to make sure that it's staying on the mat. So if you need to bring your leg up to get that shoulder, I highly recommend that. You can use your hand. If you do have something at home, you can put that here as well, something close by. Maybe your gaze goes over to your right hand, maybe up at the sky. And breathe. Take one more inhale. Exhale, bring the knee back up to the center of the mat, this time extending the leg high into the sky, just with a couple points in flexing, maybe rolling the ankle around, getting some mobility to the ankles. Give yourself one final tug in with your knee and then place it down on the mat. And again, we just stretched out a little bit of the hip flexor, so pause before we jump into the left. Do you feel a difference in your hips? And then when you're ready, inhale, the knee comes into the chest, grab those hands, pull the knees into the chest, get into that hip flexor. Take a big breath in, big breath out. Again, let yourself arrive. When you feel ready, maybe start with those circles. So I'm using my hand to give myself little knee circles and going whatever direction that is calling you today. There is no right or wrong answer. I like a little combo move of one way and the other. And then we're going to take this knee over to the right hand side. So I'm using my right hand, grabbing my knee, letting my knee fall over to the right. And again, notice I'm going to keep my shoulder on the mat. So this is as far as I can go. Maybe my gaze follows over my left hand. Eyes can be closed. Take one more breath in here. The exhale, bring the knee back into the chest. Give it one final hug. Extend that leg up to the sky. Incorporate those points and flex, or maybe those rolling of the ankles. And then this time I want you to hug both knees into the chest. So bring the right leg up, give yourself a big squeeze, big hug right here. Nice big hug. And then from here, we're going to start to rock and roll. So I'm going to start by going side to side. So side to side. And then just massaging my back. My sides to sides are going to start to go forward and back, forward and back. So I'm going to start rolling myself up to a seat. Now I'm going to pivot myself towards you guys so you can see me. We're going to continue our practice on our seat. So find a position that's comfortable for your legs. That could be extending your legs out in front of you. That could be a little butterfly. That could be joining me in a crisscross applesauce. Whatever feels best for your body. From here, bring your fingertips out wide. Inhale, arms come up to the sky. Maybe the gaze lifts. Then exhale right back down. Good. We'll do that again. Inhale, arms come up to the sky. Exhale right back down. Nice. From here, the arms are going to come up to the sky. Big stretch at the top. This time, I want you to bring over your side. So lean over to one side. So maybe lean over to your right side. Your hand can be planted on the ground. Gaze can follow. Maybe the gaze goes up to the upper arm. Just getting into our side body. Inhale, arms come up to the sky. Switch it out. This time, right hand down or opposite hand down for you. Lean over to the side. Again, your gaze can be up at that arm or maybe down at the fingertips. Whatever the neck is feeling today. Inhale back up to center. This time we're going to do a cactus. So all I'm doing is bringing my elbows down, keeping my chest up lifted. Nice little stretch for the upper body. So good when we type all day, text, drive, we're kind of hunkered over with our shoulders. So this is really good to open up our chest in the morning before we start the day. Good. Inhale, arms come up to the sky. Nice big stretch here. And then kind of bring everything down, kind of shake it out. We're going to continue with some neck stretches today, my absolute favorite. So I'm going to start by taking a nice big inhale. So I want my head to be lifted like there's a string lifting the crown of my head. So very nice long spine. Inhale a breath and then exhale just the chin to the chest. And then sometimes when I wake up, this is enough of a stretch for my back body. So we'll start here, just getting the back of the body warmed up. Then when you're ready, I want you to drop your chin, lean your ear over to whatever shoulder is calling you. It's a little gentle neck stretch. Now from here, this may be perfect what you need this morning. Another option is to bring your hand, just gently place it on your head. This kind of just makes the tense or makes the stretch a little deeper. Another option is those fingertips out to the side. So again, find what option that feels good. And if you do have your hand on your head, I just want to encourage you not to push. That natural weight will kind of intensify that stretch for you. Being mindful of our breath. Good. Go ahead and gently release if the hand's on the head. Come to center. And again, wow, pause. Maybe you notice a difference from the sides we just did. And then when you're ready, inhale a big breath and drop the opposite ear to the opposite shoulder. And again, right away, you might notice that one might be a little tighter than the other. It's normal. It's human. So just awareness as we move throughout our practice. And then when you're ready, if you like that option of the hand, you can gently place it on your head, just gently intensifying the stretch for you. And again, that option is always there for the fingertips. I always love to close my eyes here, kind of tune in to my mind. And if you notice your mind start to drift, that's okay, right? It's doing its job. We're human, so if you notice that throughout this practice, just be aware and shift your mind back to your breath. So take one more big breath in. Gently lift off the hand if it's there. And then now for my absolute favorite part, we're going to do some neck circles. So I'm going to drop my chin to the chest, start doing some neck circles. And again, it doesn't matter which direction you go first. Taking your time, going really slow. It might feel good to go in different directions and maybe pause if there's one area that feels really good, and just try to see if you can release any tension. Good, nice. And then when you feel complete, we're gonna come back into that neutral spine. So take your time getting there. Again, you always have the ability to take as long as you want for any of these practices. I'm just giving you options, kind of like a gentle flow to go through. So when you feel ready, we're gonna continue through our yoga practice. Now we're gonna come onto our hands and our knees, setting up for a tabletop position. So for tabletop, I wanna make sure that my shoulders are over my wrists and my hips are over my knees. Going right into a cat and cow. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze for cow. And then push through the palms around that spine for cat. Now it might feel good to do a couple of these at your own pace. Sometimes cow feels really, really good just to hold. And again, sometimes cat can just be perfect for waking up in the morning. Go ahead and finish whatever round you're on and meet me back in that tabletop position. We're gonna set up for a child's pose. So I'm gonna bring my toes together, knees wide. Hips are coming back down to the mat. My arms are staying extended in front of me. My forehead can come down to the mat. Getting into our hip flexors, our arms. And breathe. It might feel good to give yourself a little forehead massage. All that is rocking your forehead side to side on your mat. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, bring yourself up to that tabletop position. We are going to start this morning just with a little gentle core. So what I like to do for this pose is I like to bring my knees together first. This just kind of helps with my balance as we go throughout this next pose. So this is going to be a balancing table. So knees together kind of helps first. Then from here, I want you to extend your right leg back, flex your toe down. So we can start here, just using our core to lift our leg behind us as if we're kicking the wall behind us. Now option 2, maybe we play around with incorporating the left hand up. Now when you do this, I really want you to focus on putting the weight in your right hand. See if you can keep those hips rotated down to the mat. Gaze can be right out in front of your mat. And breathe. Now we have options. We can stay here holding, or option 2 is inhale, extend both directions, and exhale and bring my left elbow to my right knee and kind of round like a cat. So inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Good. Inhale, extend. Hold here, maybe 1 inch higher. Then exhale, plant the left hand down, knee comes down. Come onto your knees, give your hands a break for just a second, shake them out. I know, harder than it looks. All right, so we'll do the opposite side when you're ready. Hands come back down to the mat. I really love starting with my knees together, so maybe you join me. This time, left foot comes back, flex that foot down. So toes are pointed down. And again, this is where we can stay. If you would like to have another option, maybe your right hand lifts. And again, just like our neck and our hips, maybe one's a little bit more challenging. So again, extend here. If you like that option of the knee to the elbow, then inhale, extend both directions. Exhale, bring your elbow to your knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow to knee. Nice job, you guys. Inhale, extend. Now maybe we hold here, 1 inch higher. Then exhale, plant it down. Come back on to our knees. Now this is a cool option if you want to do a little foot stretch this morning. You can tuck your toes under and bring your hips back onto your seat. Now this is going to really stretch the soles of your feet. So the timing of how long you want to hold it is up to you. I personally love this stretch, but I know it's not always everyone's favorite. So if you would like a little more foot stretch, we can join me in this position. So we'll hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently come off your feet, maybe a little pitter patter, little rainstorm here. All right, perfect. So from here, bring those arms out in front of you, tuck those toes under. We're gonna come to our first downward facing dog of the day. Whew, good morning, calves. We'll start by bending one knee at a time, getting into the back of our legs, embracing all those pops. And then from here, we're gonna find some stillness. What I would like you to do is walk your feet to the top of the mat. So take your time, walking all the way to the top. Good, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Slight bend in the knees. We're gonna come all the way up, all the way to a mountain pose. So hand comes to heart center. I'm gonna turn towards the camera so you can see me. Just taking a moment to maybe ground into our feet. So lift those toes up, put them right back down. Good. Maybe we roll those shoulders back. You're gonna tuck the hips under. The strong mountain pose. Maybe taking a moment to close your eyes. Maybe think of something that you're grateful for this morning or something you're looking forward to today. Bring that to the forefront of your mind. And then inhale, arms come up to the sky. From here, we're going to exhale, forward fold. This time staying to a nice juicy ragdoll. So all that is I'm bringing my legs a little further than hip distance apart. Nice juicy bend in the knees. Bringing my head down, hands to the mat, maybe swaying side to side. You can keep your hands grounded if that feels good, or if you want some movement, you can grab opposite elbows and kind of sway side to side. Maybe grab opposite elbows and just keep on swaying, or maybe your fingertips are tented. Yogi's choice. Take one more big breath in. And then exhale very gently, bring those legs back to parallel position. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We're gonna plant those palms. We're gonna step back to a plank pose. Now plank can be either onto your toes or it can be from your knees for a knee down plank. Find the position that feels good for you. We're just gonna start by holding this for just a couple of seconds, kind of tuning into the core. So inhale a big breath, and then exhale, we're gonna lower down to the mat. So whether that's from your knees or from plank, maybe taking a baby cobra today. So hug those elbows into your rib cage, gently lift yourself up. Big breath in, exhale, come back down, back through a tabletop position, and meet me in the downward facing dog. Good, we'll do that again. So walk those feet to the top of the mat. You can always hop as well. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Slight bend in the knees. We're gonna come all the way up to the sky. This time we're gonna do a side stretch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my right hand, grab my left wrist, and I'm gonna lean over to the side. Then inhale up to center. I'm gonna reverse the grip of my hand. So now right hand, or my left hand to my right wrist, and then lean over to the side. Coming back up to center, we're gonna do that little cactus we did earlier. So all we're gonna do is bring those elbows down, the chest lifts. Good, inhale, arms come back up to the sky. Then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to your plank. Now here's your option, lower down through your chaturanga, whether that's on your knees or from your toes. Maybe this time you want to take an upward facing dog. And then exhale, we all meet in the downward facing dog. Now from here, maybe the right leg lifts up for 3-point or 3-legged dog. Then exhale, bring it through. We're gonna come to a low runner's lunge. So we're on the toes. We'll go ahead and drop the left knee down, untuck the toes. Little hip flexor stretch. So maybe we stay here. Maybe we want to lift the hands up to the sky. Maybe we want to lean over towards the bent knee, kind of getting into the hip flexor a little bit more. Man, that feels so good. From here, arms come back up to the sky, big breath in. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. No yogi ears on. All I'm gonna do is shift my weight back. So I'm lifting my right foot off the mat. We're kind of stretching out this hamstring a little bit more. Fingertips can come down to the mat. Whew. This is one I don't do too often, but it looks like I need to do it more, right? Breathe in, breathe out. Good, push into the right foot again. This time yogi ears on, left hand is gonna come next to the right foot. I can either stay on my knee, so I'll show you that one first. I'm gonna start rotating towards my right hand side. So this is option one. You also have an option two, revolve side angle, yogi's choice, whatever is in your practice. Keep that open chest. Good. Big breath in, big breath out. Right hand comes down to the mat this time. Now all we're gonna do is gonna step that right foot back to meet the left, and just a quick transition. So now this time, shift those hips up back to that downward facing dog. Left hand or left foot comes up to the sky for the three-legged dog. Bring the right foot through. So again, low runner's lunge. Start by dropping down the right knee and tuck the toes. From here, lift yourself up. Hip flexor. Maybe mindfulness of one side that might be tighter than the other. You have the option to maybe stay here. Maybe you like the option of bringing your hands up to the sky. Maybe you like the option of leaning over towards the bent leg. Wow, that just gets right into the hip flexor. Nice. Inhale a big breath. Exhale, hands come back up to center. Hands come all the way down to the mat. This is just the shift back of the hips. The left foot lifts, getting to that hamstring a little bit more. That feels so good. Breathe. Take one more inhale. Exhale, push into the left foot. Yogi ears on. My right hand's gonna come next to my left foot. I'm gonna stay on my knee for the first one. Inhale, my arms come up to the left hand side. So again, option one. Option two, maybe we come onto the toes. Revolve side angle. Open chest. Good, you guys look great. Big breath in. Big breath out. From here, left hand comes back down to meet. This time, we're gonna bring the left foot back to meet the right, taking a chaturanga this time. So either coming down to the knees or staying on your toes, lower down to the mat. Taking an upward facing dog or a cobra. And then when you're ready, come back to a downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. From here, we are going to bring the right foot up into the sky. Then exhale, bring it through, low runner's lunge. From here, we're gonna pivot our foot to a warrior two position. So back, left foot comes to a parallel position with the mat. I'm pushing into my front knee. When my foundation feels perfect or feels good, then maybe I start to build with my arms for the pose. Good, nice. So you can push that knee towards the pinky toes, create that space in the hips. Inhale a big breath, exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale a breath. Exhale, I'm gonna bring my, I always forget, forearm to my right knee. So from here, I'm gonna start opening my chest towards the left-hand side. We got a revolved side angle or modified side angle. Good. Now there are options to have the hand extended down towards the ankle or the mat. You can also add a bind, so yogi's choice, whatever's in your practice. Big breath in, big breath out. Good. Come back into warrior two. This time we're gonna inhale, come to star pose. So all I'm doing is switching my heels in, toes out, big breaths, reach up just like a star, and then exhale, sit back to warrior two. So a little bit of a flow. Inhale, up to star. Exhale, sit, warrior two. One more time, inhale to star. Exhale, warrior two. Good. Take a big breath in and then exhale. Carve those hands down. Your right foot comes back to your left. Maybe you take a chaturanga. Maybe you just meet me in downward facing dog. See what your practice is needing this morning. Now we did it on one side. You kind of know what's coming. So this time the left foot comes up for 3-point. Exhale, bring it through. We start in that low runner's lunge. When we feel our foundation, maybe we start pivoting the foot, coming to a warrior two. So my back right foot's parallel to the back of the mat. I start with my leg, so see if that feels good. Then when I feel confident, maybe my hands come out to the side, join me for a warrior two. Being mindful of that knee tracking out towards that pinky toe. Inhale a breath, exhale, reverse your warrior. Inhale a breath, exhale, come to that modified side angle, so forearm can come to the knee. Maybe start opening up your chest to the right. Again, you have options here. You can stay with the forearm. Maybe your hand comes down to the mat. Maybe you want to take a bind. Yogi's choice. Take one more inhale. On the exhale, bring yourself back up to the warrior two. Then we're gonna do those moving stars. So inhale a big breath, we rotate towards the side of the room, come to a little star position, and then exhale, come back to warrior two. Inhale, star. Exhale, warrior two. One more time, inhale, star. Exhale, warrior two, and hold. Good, nice. Inhale a big breath, and then exhale, cartwheel your hands down. This is the last flow, our vinyasa, chaturanga we have for our practice today. So if you want to take it, take it. If not, just meet me in that downward facing dog. Good, maybe start by pedaling at your feet in downward facing dog. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to walk our feet to the top of the mat. And we're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. We're just gonna come back to a plank pose, but we're not really gonna take a chaturanga. All we're gonna do is lower down gently to the mat. Good. When you arrive here, setting up for a locust pose, so palms face down next to you. When we are ready, we're gonna lift ourselves up. So I'm gonna lift my legs, lift my chest, my arms, keeping my neck in front of my mat to protect it. Good. So strengthening the back as well. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Gently release. Maybe one ear comes down to the mat. You can windshield wiper the legs side to side. And the legs come back down to the mat. We're going to do that one more time. So inhale, lift the arms, legs, keeping your neck in front of you. Whew. Take another big breath in. Maybe we go 1 inch higher, and then exhale everything back down. Opposite ear comes down to the mat. Maybe those legs bicycle side to side. From here, push the palms into the mat. We're gonna be traveling onto our back, so maybe come through to your seat first. We're gonna lower down on our mat, so inhale, big breath, exhale, lower down. Good. We're gonna set up for our butterfly pose. So I'm gonna bring my feet together, knees wide. Kind of letting the body settle, but also opening up those hips. Maybe one hand comes to the chest and then one to the belly. Maybe those thoughts are drifting back. We're just being mindful. Everything we have to do, the to-do list, the task, all of that be waiting for us. But for right now, this is our time for us before we start our day. So take a nice deep breath in and exhale, let it go. Good, we're gonna stretch our hips before we set up for our final resting pose. So I'm gonna bring my right ankle across my left. I'm gonna bring my leg up. You can also keep your leg down on the mat, so whatever feels good for your hips. So this could be an option. This could also be an option, depending on how it feels for your body. You can also loop your hands through if you would like, kind of giving yourself a little bit of a deeper stretch. Good. Take one more breath here. We're gonna switch out those legs. So maybe it might feel good to kind of bicycle or sway those legs side to side before we set up for the opposite side. So we're gonna bring the left leg over across the right. Now again, stay here. Maybe you wanna lift up that right leg, and maybe you wanna bring your elbows through your legs. Nice big breath in. Big breath out. Take one more breath on this side. When you feel ready, very gently release that leg off of your leg and let them fall side to side. One quick inversion before we set up for Shavasana. So inversion can look like your legs to the sky for a waterfall, maybe dead bug. Happy baby is another inversion. Just getting the blood flow back down to the heart. So find an option that feels good. And I always encourage, if you want movement, you don't have to be still in these inversions. Sometimes moving my legs in happy baby can feel really good. Or maybe if you're in waterfall, you can kind of point and flex those toes. Yeah, nice. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to very gently bring our legs down to the mat. We're going to set up for our final resting pose. So staying here on the mat, so take up some space. If you need to take off a watch, remove a hair bow, anything that feels good. Now what I like to do before we close our practice is we do 3 breaths. The first one is an inhale, exhale. The second one's a shh on the exhale. And then the third one is a really big sigh. So something you might have been holding on to for the week, something you're really nervous about for the day, just kind of release that energy. So we'll do the first one together. Take a nice big breath in. And then exhale, let something go. Second one is going to be a shh on the exhale. So take a nice big breath in and exhale. And the third one, maybe a big juicy sigh. So maybe something you've been holding on to or something you're stressed about. Breathe in, so breathe in through the belly, through the ribs, and then exhale, sigh it out. This will be our Shavasana. I want you to take the time for you. You can let this video played out after we end the video if you would like a longer one. But I encourage you to take this time for rest. Very gently. Before you start to move or open your eyes, just slowly start coming back into the space. Maybe we start by wiggling those fingers and toes. Just adding some gentle movement. It might feel good to do that arrival breath like we did at the beginning. So nice deep breath in. Exhale, slide something out. Maybe that movement becomes gradual. We start rolling those ankles, rolling those wrists. And then maybe those hands come out like this. Open up and then nice stretch, point and flex the toes. Stay here on your back. If you want to join me, you can gently roll onto your side. Push yourself up to a seated position. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful practices with me this morning. I hope that it got your blood flowing, the thoughts processing, the movement going in your body, the energy to start your day. So I hope that you enjoyed your practice. I hope you have a wonderful day. I want to bring my hands to heart center. You can join me if you would like. The light in me honors and sees the light in you. Namaste. Hey everyone, just want to say thank you for joining me for another yoga video. This video was a shortened condensed video, so if you wanted a little bit more deeper stretch, a little longer poses, a little longer flow, I hope you check out my other 45-minute video linked here for you. I'm going to keep creating content that you guys give me feedback for, so I have hopefully a yoga for runners coming up and a lot of other stuff. So if you want something for me to teach, if you don't mind just sharing in the comments below or just shooting me an email or a message. All right, thanks so much.